What's happening, golfers? I've got Peter Finch on trying to break 80 round an impossible golf course. Brings me to my point. I'm going to put a little snapshot email that we got from Scottish Golf about the World Handicap System and how they're doing updates to their computer system. So between the 15th of December, thereabouts, to about the 7th of January, you won't be able to put any scores in for your handicap. Now, it's a complete minefield, the World Handicap System, and there's so much wrong with it. There are some good things, but mostly there's things that are hugely wrong with it. The premise is great. You can go out anytime you want, put a supplementary score in, which should reflect how you're playing ability-wise, more accurately, because every time you play, you're putting a card in, effectively, which is reflecting how you're playing. But here's the thing. Maybe, right, the Scottish Golf and World Handicap System aren't actually to blame for this. Maybe they are not at fault. Maybe it's actually the way your club runs club competitions, stroke medals, that are to blame. Bear with me. Right. So, everybody who plays in competitions at some point realises that, hang on, I've got to like shoot net 59s and net 58s to win medals here. The ball's starting to click, innit? So every time they put a supplementary score in, they could be massaging their golfing ability. There's nothing there to suggest that, well, let's look at it this way. If you take any golf club and look at the winning scores for this year's medals, any golfer who is 5 and below, if there's no scratch in the medal, and here's where clubs could be at fault for not putting scratch categories in, then these guys are going out. In fact, most aren't even going out. They're just bypassing medals altogether because they're just donating money to a prize fund, or they're going out and they're just playing in the twos. I mean, that's how ironically stupid this whole thing is. The other aspect of this is Stableford scores and such like. A lot of clubs have tried to impart like more people playing golf, made it Stableford, but if you have an inflated artificially high handicap, Stableford becomes a joke to play in. Because even if you go out and shoot 7 birdies without any strokes, you cannot possibly beat someone who gets 12 pars, net 7 birdies, 4 eagles, that type of thing, in a Stableford. It's impossible. Also, when they made match play, instead of 75% difference, or whatever you want to call it, they made it 100% difference. That virtually over a period of, maybe not the first year, but certainly after the first season, low handicappers again went, no worth me playing in this. I come up against that 28 handicapper who, he's hit that green and reg again. How many shots am I giving him this hole? 2. So what was that there? It was a 4, net 2. I would have had to have holed that 148 yard wedge there for half. So whether you want to blame the World Handicap System or Scottish Golf, they are aware of this situation, but clubs, your personal club, could do something about this issue. What could they do? Well, here's an issue, or a couple of solutions, because we don't want to just be telling you all the problems. If they made medals really quite divisional, so you entered your medal and say from scratch to 9 was Division 1, then 9 to 15 or 16 was Division 2, and anything above that, 16 upwards, was Division 3. That's probably a sensible way to go. That way, all those handicapped golfers who are either artificially putting scores in or whatever they're doing, but they're all playing against similar handicapped golfers. It would also help the match and handicap secretary who's running that, being able to watch the scores coming in, and then if there was someone performing way above what they should be, like 10 shots below the handicap, he could make a cut. Now apparently, Match and Handicap have that authority. There'll be loads of you in the comments going, oh yes, the Match and Handicap secretary should really step out there and chop these bandits. But the thing is, so you chop the bandit, then he goes out and puts in 8 or 7 artificially high supplementary rounds, and he's back to square one again, or very close to it. It might take him a while, but that's what these people seem to be doing. Against what Scottish Golf and the World Handicap System said, which would be no one would manipulate this system. Then you've got the other reverse of that, where really good golfers, low golfers, they're putting every single score in, and they're getting down to like 1.4, or scratch thereabouts. And they're finding it like really difficult too, because where do you go when you get to that level? You need to go further afield. You need to go into like what they call prestige sort of amateur events. There's only one issue with that. They cost a lot of money to enter, and you've got to travel to get to them. They're not like local, and you can get balloted out. So there's a squeeze now between top amateur golf and club golf, and then if you're in the no man's land in between, when the no man's land in between, I would suggest is anyone sort of like 3, 4, 5 up to 9 handicap, you're neither here nor there. And if they did have a scratch category at your club, this is the Match and Handicap's head, right? They're thinking, well, if we made it scratch, right, those low boys, well, we've only got 2 in the club or 3 in the club, and they would win every week, so no one would enter the scratch. Catch 22, I just think the whole handicap system needs to work more like the better you play, the quicker you come down, like a lot quicker. This halfway house where you have a good round or 2 good rounds, but you actually only come down like 1 shot, right? But you've shot like the lights out for 2 rounds or whatever. Clearly you've won, right? I suggest getting chopped 5 shots, right? And then it will take you a while if you start playing badly to get back up. But the thing is, move the goalpost round so that everyone gets a fair crack of the whip, if you like, right? So, the other big, huge problem in this, and you'll have seen it yourself at your own club, and you'll be saying, Mike, you've hit the nail on the head with that one. All these high handicappers, right? Watch what they're doing with a medal card in their hand, and if they think, oh, I've got X amount of holes to go, I'm not going to win this week, well, bizarrely they... Right? Now when the same handicappers get together and play in like a 4-ball or 4-ball better ball or a Texas Scramble, when they can't get cut, unbelievably, they all like shoot course record breaking scores. Is that something that I've just seen, or no, you've all seen it? Also, other card of that, when they're playing in match play and against a really low handicapper, all of a sudden they're playing like, you know, a tour professional, hitting greens in reg, one putting for birdie, net eagle. You know, we've all seen it. If we see it, if the match and handicap sees it, if Scottish Golf see it, and the World Handicap System know it's there, how come they're not doing anything about it? And I'm just going to leave it at that, because I could moan about this for the next eternity. But that's going to be a major issue for golf, because folk are definitely stopping entering and playing in competitions knowing that they've got as much chance of winning, even if they shoot the lights out, as going down the local shop and paying £1 for a lottery ticket. Thanks for watching.